He was a sort of John Paul Getty of his day. He endowed many churches and charities, etc. So he's honored uncritically as a great son of the city, a wise and virtuous son of the city. However, he was a high official of the Royal African Company, which up until 1698 had the monopoly on the slave trade to Africa. Presided over the transport, and he was at the meetings, he knew what he was doing, of 80,000 people at least, of whom I think 10,000 were under 10 years of age. And he also knew that 19,000 of the people during the years he was a high official would die en route to the Americas. I think the statue has been, since the 1990s, when people were told about his slaving connections, a lightning rod for existing racial and class tensions in the city. And a lot of people just have seen Colston as a symbol of Bristol's philanthropic traditions and its distinctive identity. It's not like London. We have our own history. And they didn't really get the fact that he presided over the mass murder of a lot of people. But he's somebody who is, also a philanthropist. That doesn't excuse what he did, but it does mean that it's contradictory. I think you could have a much more creative thing. We should have a monument to the labor of enslaved Africans and their descendants, to the prosperity of the city, but also acknowledge the contribution a lot of working class people have made to this city, and hard-working people who didn't get their just desserts. But it's different from slavery. Slavery adds a different layer. But I think it's very difficult when people feel so ignored and their emotions are so high to have a nuanced debate about this without being accused of colluding with white privilege at the moment. But I think we can reach out because we've got some of the most deprived white areas in Bristol, in the country. Decades of people who have been unemployed and subject to all sorts of pressures. So we need to sort of widen out our discussion.